So, we all know those movies where hackers use their black screen command interfaces to write code and breach government websites, right? But what if I told you that you can use a similar command interface to do anything WordPress related without using UI, buttons, or dashboards? Hey, what's up you guys? I am Ruben and this is the beginner's guide to WordPress CLI. I promise the black screen is not always apocalyptic. Before we go, take a second to subscribe to our channel to get more info about WordPress and how to make your agency shine.
This video is brought to you by Web, automated WordPress platform specifically designed for agencies. Sign up for a 14-day free trial right now and experience the true innovation.
Now, what is WordPress CLI? CLI stands for Command Line Interface. This is the opposite of graphic user interface, which is like pressing buttons to manage WordPress. And command line interface uses code to do the same. Let's see how it works. Now, first of all, how do you get WP CLI? You have to install it. And my recommendation is to download the PHR file via CURL or wget like this. Next, make sure to check the downloaded file. So call the command php wp-cli.phr with the argument info. And if you see this information about your environment, it means everything is okay. Now, to use WP CLI from the command line by typing WP, make the file executable and move it to somewhere in your path variable. And if WP CLI installs successfully, then run WP info, and that should display your environment info. And to update WP CLI, just run sudo WP CLI update. Next question, what commands are there and how can you use them? To list all commands, write WP help or just WP. You will see the man page featuring all commands with their descriptions and all supported global parameters. You can scroll the page using keyboard arrows or the mouse wheel, and to close the info page we type Q. Now, if you want more info about a specific command, run the WP help command and the name of the specific command. Let's try it with WP help plugin. This is what we get. Now, which commands will you use most frequently? Let's check out some common cases, but first let's start with the fresh WordPress installation. Now, to manage WordPress installations, use the WP core command. You can download, install, or update a fresh WordPress installation by running this command. Now let's download and install a new version of WordPress. Let's make a new folder in our web root. This one. Then let's generate a WP config file. So the first command line downloads the latest WordPress files. The second one generates a WP config PHP file. Then the third one creates a database. And finally, the last one installs WordPress and creates an admin user account. almost done. And there you go. Now, by running WP core check update, you can get the list of WordPress updates. And since we just installed the new version, we have the last one. But you can easily update or downgrade your WordPress by this command: WP core update the argument version and the number version with the argument force. And if you don't specify the version, the latest major version will be used. Now let's check the first use. Now, to get info about installed plugins, you have to run WP plugin list. There it is. See? Now, to install plugins, you have to run WP plugin install and plugin name. Also, you can install and activate a plugin at the same time. For example, we can run WP plugin install and let's go with photo gallery with the argument activate. Let's check it, and there it is. We got it in our list. The next one is resolving conflicts between plugins and themes. So sometimes a plugin conflict will prevent you from accessing the plugins page, but no worries, you can just deactivate the plugin or the theme from WP CLI. Here, for example, let's create a conflict situation, and we'll add an error in one of the active plugins, which will cause website downtime and failures for every command. Then we'll deactivate the plugin. So to resolve that issue, you can use the skip plugins argument to tell WP CLI not to load any plugin while calling a command. For example, we can deactivate faulty plugins by running WP plugin deactivate. And the plugin name and the argument skip plugins. You can also skip themes loading with similar skip themes argument. Let's go plugin list. There you have it. Next one is running commands on the remote server. Now, if your WordPress installation is located on another server or in a Docker container, you can pass SSH credentials and run any WP CLI command on the remote server. Now, to do this, just add the SSH parameter to any command. Now, let's call a command on our website, 10web. For example, we can check database status. And for that, we need to run WP check with the SSH parameter, like this. Check. Also use the path parameter to specify the WP installation folder. See? Here we go. Plugin list. Ready? Now, another usage is in deployment scripts. Now, many of us are using automated deployment scripts to roll out new versions of our website, but it's also good practice to flush cache after each deployment. And you can do this by calling WP cache flush. Also, you can activate the maintenance mode via WP maintenance mode activate. Run and activate. And you can deactivate it via WP maintenance mode deactivate. Okay, now things can often go wrong, so it's good to have a database backup. You can create one by calling WP export. And to import the exported database, to import the exported database file, run wp import and the file name. Next one is searching and replacing. Now, when developing websites, we often create them in a local development environment. Then we arrange them in the staging environment, and if everything is good, we deploy them to production. At each step, we need to arrange URLs in the database from local to staging and from staging to production. And we can easily do that by running WP search replace like this. Let's go with WP search replace. Then we enter the data. So this will turn the first URL or the first piece of data into the second one in the database. Here we have the database. Now it's updated. Now to see all parameters of this command, you can call WP help search replace. Replace. There you go. Now let's talk about managing users. You can use CLI to view the WordPress users list, add or delete or modify any user information, or change user roles and capabilities. Now to view the list of users, call WP user list. And to get more information about a specific user, run WP user get and the username. You can add a new admin user by simply calling WP user create. Let's go with John Smith. And let's give him the role of the editor. Okay. And we're going to have to set a password. Like that. And let's check him in the list. Let's check if everything is updated. Let's check the caps of John. Here you see it. Now to add a capability or role to an existing user, just call this one, add cap, user, username, and the capability. Okay, here you go. And you can also remove a role or a capability. You can replace add role and add cap in the command above to remove role and remove cap. Let's go with add role, administrator. Yeah, let's replace. Let's remove John's role of administrator. Let's check the list. Let's check the caps. There you have it. Here you see, everything is updated. Now let's configure WP-Cron to run like a real cron. WP-Cron has many limitations and tends to hang very often because it works during the request, which has an execution time limit. So if you want a stable run of your scheduled tasks, you can configure the Linux cron to run scheduled tasks via WP CLI, which usually doesn't have limit. To do this, you need to go to your WP config PHP file and add this line here. Define disable WP cron. This will disable running WP cron during the HTTP request, and then you need to edit the cron tab file and add our command. For that, just run cron tab E. It will open your system's cron tab. You only need to add this line, save it, and exit. Let's insert the line. There it is. So now we configured our system to run the WP cron event. Run with the argument do now command once every 5 minutes. And I also wanted to talk about how you can add your own commands. Now, WP CLI is awesome because you can write your custom commands for plugins and themes. To create your first command, you can use the command WP CLI, 2 colons, add command with the identifier and class name, where the identifier is what you will use in the CLI to call subcommands, and the class name is the class containing all your CLI commands. Here's an example of a WP CLI command that returns hello world. So I created a simple plugin that adds my command to WP CLI here. Here's the code. So our little simple plugin here has just one function. It registers TWC command that will call TWC CLI class methods. Each method will become a different subcommand. So now we will have one command with one hello world subcommand, which will print hello world. Now our plugin is deactivated, and when you call WP help, see the output. Now when I enable our plugin, it will add WP TWC hello world command. It's activated. Here's the list, and there you go. Hello world.
there you have it.
And that's it for today, you guys. There is so much more you can do with WordPress CLI, and plus there are so many packages out there that can help you extend your CLI's functionality. We at TenWeb use CLI to automate tasks and manage WordPress installations, plus it just helps us achieve optimal performance. And I hope this brief guide helps you get started with WordPress CLI. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to stay tuned for more.
This video is brought to you by TenWeb, automated WordPress platform specifically designed for agencies. Sign up for a 14-day free trial right now and experience the true innovation.